What an interesting artifact.
Hey everybody, it's me, RunnerEye, and today we're going to be ranking some of the worst talent show performances in all of Drag Race. People often forget that the worst performances on Drag Race are oftentimes the best ones, the godly ones that people quote all the time. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to give them their flowers. I'm going to put them into a tier list and we're going to talk through each and every one of them. Let's get into it right now. So let's begin with the one who started it all, Coco Montrese's All Stars 2 variety show.
We all make choices, but that was a choice.
She paved the path for bad talent show performances. I think that this was the first ever talent show that was like universally made fun of in the Drag Race fandom. I actually don't think that Coco Montrese did bad in this performance. I think it's just the fact that it's a little bit awkward. It's just kind of her like dancing around the stage, and my favorite part when she has the little top hat that she dances with. She tried to go for like this old Hollywood story and kind of aesthetic where she was kind of like pining after this man and she was like dancing with him. Now, I've talked about this before. She was a little bit screwed here because she initially wanted to do a Janet Jackson number, and it was only last second that they told her that she couldn't do that, so she had to come up with something completely different, and this is what we ended up with. I think that people just don't get it. It's kind of, you know, it's a genius work of art. It's like The Artist, that fucking movie that no one remembers that won Best Picture. I'm giving my Best Picture, RunnerEye's Best Picture. Here we go. The nominees are Coco Montrese. The other nominee is nothing because we don't need to nominate anything else. We already have the Best Picture. Here, the best picture of all time. It is an absolute masterpiece on film. It is an absolute masterclass in dancing. Coco Montrese should do a masterclass in dancing and in like narrative storytelling.
You want to make more money? Wear a suit.
And I'm just so happy that we have this. Even though she got sent home because of this performance. It's going in the pure insanity tier. So next up we have Jasmine Masters and her All Stars 4 comedy routine.
Baby, your breath smells exactly like your ass. Your breath stinks. You have been doing nothing but eating on ass. I need you to fix that.
So the reason why Jasmine didn't succeed here is not only that she kind of chose like a crude topic about someone's breath smelling like butt, but she also went onto the stage without a script. She thought that she could go up there without a script and that she could just do things off the cuff, hoping that she could replicate her success on Instagram Lives, where she just talks about random stuff and it's really funny.
I have a challenge for you. Burger King, how are you? Yes, are you guys hiring today? Oh, fantastic. Can I come down today and fill out the application? Oh, great, thank you. Challenge, get a fucking job. Do that challenge.
So she ends up going up there and just talking about a person's breath smelling like ass. And the editors did her so dirty here because if you go back and watch this entire performance, she gets about like 3 lines out of her mouth before they just cut her and say, okay, we're done. She walks to the back of the stage. She's just like, thank you, yes. Your breath smells bad. You should fix that. I'm Jasmine Masters, and that's all I have to say. Good night, everybody. Like, I'm sure she did say more things, but the editors did not want to show us. It makes me wonder what she actually talked about up there. Was it too profane that she couldn't even talk about it on live television? These are questions that will never be answered. I can't even say that it's hard to watch because the charisma of Jasmine Masters just like, it fills up the room. I feel safe even when she's like fully bombing up there. And you know what? I appreciate that. She's going in the pure insanity tier. Hey everybody, I have a Patreon in now and you should totally join it. Well, why should I join your stupid little Patreon, buddy? What's in it for me? I'm so glad you asked. You get so many cool things. Let's go through it. You get extended ad-free videos. Imagine these videos, but bigger, longer, beefier, funnier. Everything you could possibly want in a video, you get it on the Patreon. That sounds good, but what else do I get? I'm so glad you asked that question again. You also get access to exclusive cut content, which doesn't make the video. You get your name in the credits at the end of the video. You get exclusive Patreon polls to get to vote what videos I do next and what videos I upload. You can get so many things. There's just so many things. It would be easier to list off all the things you don't get when you join the Patreon. But what else is there? Oh my god, I'm so glad you asked a third time because there's even more content. I'm also going to start hosting Q&A live streams every single month, and guess who's going to be asking the questions? Yes, that is right, the patrons will, and they're going to be getting their questions answered. they're gonna be getting so many cool and lovely stuff. That could be you. This could be you one day, kid. A little patron. Don't you wanna be a little patron? You could easily be one. This is literally something so achievable. You don't even need to aspire to it. You can just join it and then you're a patron. And then you get all this cool extra stuff. And it's also like on a little fucking like personal note, it's really supporting me and it's helping me as a creator to be able to do this for you. So I would really appreciate it. Anyway, the patron is where it's at. Go get it. So next up we have Pheromone's All-Stars 4 burlesque performance. Now this performance is most famous for Pheromone slipping halfway through the number. I especially like how when Pheromone falls over, they cut immediately to Gia Gunn and you see her just smiling in the corner, like her little devious plan had just come to fruition. And just a little fun fact for the room is that every other burlesque performance before Pheromone had landed in the top 2 of the episode and had actually won the lip sync. And I remember back before this aired, it was kind of like a running, like, it's like how there was like a rumor that every single winner who wears a clown outfit on Drag Race ends up winning their season. There's lots of lore that we can delve into, but I'll talk about that another day. We're going too far into the Drag Race lore at this point. We gotta go a little bit out of the iceberg and back into those upper tiers. I remember before Pheromone did this performance, everyone used to say, if you do a burlesque number in the All-Stars talent show, you're gonna win the episode. But then Pheromone came in and she said that she was gonna put a stop to that, and she sure did. So I'm gonna put this performance in the I'm kind of obsessed tier, because I kinda am. It's not like the total chaos that is the Coco Montrese or the Jasmine Masters, but it is pretty damn good and it deserves to be up there. So next up we have Monet Exchange's All-Stars 4 talent show.
People hiding undercover without knowing what you're all about.
Now this is a performance that Monet will never live down, not only because it has one of the most legendary confessionals in all of Drag Race.
Girl, so what up? I mean, maybe some of that sweat on that forehead.
But also because Bob the Drag Queen has never let this go and will never let this go.
I walked into Bob's house the other day and they were watching all of the All-Stars performers.
Bitch, when we got to Monet,
Girl, that was a dark time in my life. That is a dark time in my life. I don't know what I was fucking thinking, girl. I don't know what, I literally don't know what I was thinking. Like, what was really going on?
They're all about.
However, at least with this performance, we do know that Monet does have a redemption in the talent show in All-Star 7, and she does her opera piece, and I think that it is probably one of, if not the best talent show performance of all time. So for this performance, I'm totally okay with putting it in the I'm kinda obsessed tier. It is extremely funny to me, especially Bob's reaction to it. I think that if Bob didn't care about it, it probably wouldn't be that funny, but the way that Bob reacts to it is hilarious. So next up we have Amethyst season 15 talent show performance. And Amethyst did this skit where she came out to Lisa Stanfield's All Around the World, because the course of that song is like someone saying I'm looking for my baby, as in like my lover. But then she flipped it around and made it like literal, as a woman, a drunk mother looking for her baby, but then baby was on her back all along. And she stretched that idea out into a 2-minute talent show performance. And let's just say that the judges didn't love it. They weren't vibing. You can see their faces here. Not super entertained. I was a little bit more entertained than they were. They really hate when people don't wear heels on this show. They see it as like some big cardinal sin. And I guess as punishment for that, they put her in the bottom and like probably sacrificed her baby to Satan or something. It's not that bad of a performance. It just was, it was worse than everyone else's. Apart from this next person who we're gonna talk about. So next up we have Irene Dubois in the season 15 talent show.
We're just gonna take some ice and you just get a little ice. Just put some ice right into the glass.
So Irene decided to make a glass of water as her talent show performance. Oh, sorry, I mean a glass of iced water. You would have thought I was crazy if I just said she was making water. The ice makes all the difference. I think that this was just a case of the judges not vibing with Irene's dry sense of humor. Maybe instead of that dry humor, she should have tried some dry ice. Thank you so much, guys. I'll be here all week. Thank you. The top tier joke of the year. It's peak tier. It's not gonna get any better. But yeah, this one, it didn't land the way it was supposed to land. In fact, it was kind of like a crash landing, and it killed everyone inside the vehicle. So sadly, I'm gonna put this one in the it's just kind of bad tier. So next up we have Serena Chacha in the All-Stars 6 talent show. And Serena did this little kind of original song slash dance number slash ad for her wig company where she kind of made up this dance to like style wigs. It was kind of like a Macarena type thing, Macarena for the gays, if you will. And then along with this, she also had powder like spraying out of the wigs for some reason, but it was only when she kind of like shook it from behind. It was weird. I don't know what she was going for. So this performance naturally landed her in the bottom. Where Serena, has she landed in the bottom every single episode of Drag Race she's been on? I think she has. Because if you think about it, on season 5, episode 1, she was in the bottom, but survived. Episode 2, she was in the bottom, was eliminated. Then she came back for All-Star 6, was in the bottom and eliminated episode 1. And then she came back for the lip sync SmackDown thing and she was eliminated first again. Like, it is kind of pure insanity, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know if it's necessarily that level. So next up we have Morgan McMichaels on the All-Stars 3 talent show.
Why you mad though? Why you mad though? Why you mad though? Why you mad? Why you looking at us? Why you mad? Why you mad? Why you mad?
And Morgan tried to do something very similar to Tatiana from All-Stars 2. I think she was trying to replicate that success by having a diss track as her talent show performance. But I guess when compared to everyone else on that season who was pretty good in the talent show, she just kind of missed the mark a bit. I actually think that if this was on any other talent show, she would have been safe. Because this is kind of just what people do now in their talent shows and they get away with it scot-free and it's absolutely fine. But when Morgan did it, she was absolutely panned. They said that she seemed kind of nervous, which I guess I can also kind of see. But I also think that this isn't even that bad, honestly. I think that this is perfectly fine. Maybe back then it was bad because the only other talent show that we had was the All-Stars 2 one, which is arguably the best. So I think that it was just the fact that comparatively at the time, she was the worst, but now she's in like top tier. She actually has one of the best performances in all the talent shows. But even with this not being that bad, it is still a little bit iconic. And I really like it. So I'm okay with putting it in. I'm kind of obsessed because I kind of am. So next up we have Fifi O'Hara's talent show on All-Stars 2.
We're gonna make love to the club tonight.
Girl, find the note.
And in this talent show performance, Fifi decided to sing a cappella, and that was just not the right choice for her, let's say. But what I specifically love about this one is the confidence that she has during that first half, especially when she gets to that middle part and it's like, let's speed it up a little. And then it goes batshit crazy with the vocal.
Should we speed it up a little bit?
I went into the Disney Channel building and I sat down with the president of Disney Channel and I said, I want to make history. And that's what this is.
I'm gonna put it in the it's just kind of bad tier, but I say that with absolute love in my heart for it. So next up we have Mayhem Miller on the All-Stars 5 talent show.
I'm the queen of the party in this Miller time. Been lining these eyes since a 8:45. Now the 6 to beat and the 6 to high. The question we all doing this is
And this was kind of like this weird like rap thing. And she kind of based it on the meme of her looking around in that club. That was like a big meme that was blowing up at the time. But she sang this live, and the verse that she wrote for herself, she forgot the words to, and it makes her end up having to kind of like try and, you know, make it through the number without the judges realizing that she missed the words. Even though she has a microphone strapped to her. You know, with the way people have interpretive dance, she does that but with words, where she just kind of mumbles into this weird kind of like it's like scat, it's scat. She's literally scatting on the stage. Don't take that out of context. And the sad thing is, if she had just recorded this and lip synced it instead of singing it live, she probably would have been safe that episode. She probably would have been fine. But no, she kind of screwed herself by singing it live, which is actually a very common thing that people tend to do. Don't sing live, everybody. Just record your shit and you'll just get by fine. It's really great. I'm totally okay with putting this in the I'm kind of obsessed tier. So next up, we have Derek Barry's All-Stars 5 talent show performance.
Madonna, tell Michelle Visage that she's not me, but ask her if she wants to adopt or borrow a baby from Malawi.
And for this performance, Derek Barry decided to do an impressions, like comedy routine. Like she could have gone the easy route. She could have had a perfect safe placement. She could have just done a Britney Spears impersonation and done it really well. But no, she decided to do all of these different characters that were critiqued for all sounding the same. It's a hard watch. It's a hard watch. But you know what? It wasn't supposed to be good. Like, people are saying that, like, she tried to be funny here. I think that this was a deconstruction of what it means to be funny, a deconstruction of comedy itself. It's an abstract kind of like teasing of ideas of what it means to be a person, an identity, and what that is. I feel like people are just misunderstanding it. Everyone out there who dislikes this, they just don't get the vision. They don't get the vision. Their IQs are like below. They have minus IQs. Their brain is inverted. And that's all I have to say. Because how could you not love this? You know, I'm ride or dying for my girl, Derek Barry. But sometimes we have to admit that our ride or die is dying. And Derek Barry was dying up there on that stage. So it's not great. But you know what? That's okay. I'm so sorry, Derek. Like, you did do amazingly, but it is a little bit hard to watch. So next up we have Monica Beverly Hills in the All Stars 8 talent show.
Not a soaking clock. Not a soaking clock. Not a soaking clock.
Now for this performance, Monica decided to perform an original song called Not a Soul Can Clock. You know, I don't love the song, but what I do love is the fact that Monica Beverly Hills is just a very chill person, and that kind of vibe also translates to the way that she performed this song, because the absolute low energy, it's like she's walking around her own house at like 2 in the morning and she's just dancing to whatever little tune she has on. She's not trying to impress people. You know, she's not trying to get a huge cheer from the crowd. She's just vibing. This performance went viral on Twitter, specifically because no one could really tell what she was saying in the Not a Soul Can Clock part, and it sounded like she was saying a bunch of different things. It was like the Laurel and Yanny of the Drag Race universe. People could hear every word in the English dictionary in this one phrase. Not a soaking clock.
Not a soaking clock.
Naughty soap and clock.
Not a soaking clock.
Not a soul pink lock.
Not a soaking clock.
And my personal favorite, that is so King Clock.
Not a soaking clock.
And because of this ability to find any phrase in this performance, people just fell in love with it online and it got memed a lot. So yeah, it's pretty funny and insane, if you ask me. I'm totally okay with putting this one in. I'm kinda obsessed. I think that that's a fitting place for Monica. So next up, we have Lucy LaDuca with her season 15 talent show performance.
Let loose, I said let loose.
And I don't even have to say anything about this one. Everyone knows what this one is. It is Let Loose by Lucy LaDuca. This meme became so prevalent that anytime someone accidentally used the words let loose in a sentence online, they would find at least one of their replies showing the face of this beautiful woman right here. It's like the Drag Race version of Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. I think people just love how much she committed to the performance, despite maybe not sounding the best. And I think that insanely high positive energy while not doing great, it just kind of lends together to create this weird mixtures of energies that I think come to create this masterpiece that we have right in front of us here today. So yes, this rightfully deserves its place in pure insanity. So that's the tier list. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. Those people who watch me aren't even subscribed, which is crazy because these videos are like free, and then like a subscription to me is free, so it's like this, we both get free things. Wouldn't that be really cool? Again, I have a Patreon now if you want to go check me out over there. There's literally an extended version of this video where I talk about more bad performances on the Patreon. You should totally check it out. These are all my social media handles. If you want to go check out any of these, please do. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.